today we will look at how to carry out chi-square test of independence in JASP. So first we'll look at a problem. Okay. The results of a recent study regarding the smoking and 3 types of illness are shown in the following table. So we have here 3 types of illness, and we have 2 categories, non-smokers and smokers, and 3 categories in illness. Okay. So we are interested in determining whether or not illness is independent of smoking. So here we want to test the null hypothesis, which is illness is independent of smoking. Okay, the alternate hypothesis for the same is illness is not independent of smoking. Right. So first we need to construct the data as per the table which is given out here. Okay. So it's easy to start with the variable which has lesser number of categories. So in Excel, we'll start with the variable smoking. Then we will create our second variable illness according to the structure given out here. Okay. So we have non-smokers 120 and smokers 180. Okay. So we need Excel for this. So we'll create it in Excel. So we have a variable called smoking, and then we have a variable called illness. Okay. So we have non-smokers and we pull this up to 121 because 120 records we require. Okay. And then we have smokers. For whom we'll take it up to 301. Because the first row is the header, so that's why we are going to 301. Right. Okay, so we are done with the first variable. Now, let's look at the non-smokers list. Okay, so in the non-smokers list, we have emphysema, which is 20, heart problem 70, and cancer 30. Okay, so emphysema, heart, and cancer. So in short, I'll put it as EHC. Okay. So E is 20, H is 70, and C is 30. So E is 20, so we go up to 21. H is 70. So we go up to 91. And the remaining of non-smokers is cancer. Okay. So we are done with the non-smokers category. Let's look at the smokers. Same thing, E is 60 times, H is 80 times, and C is 40 times. So 6, 8, 4, 60, 80, 40. So E is 60. So 121 plus 60, so 181. We'll go till there. Okay. So Now H is 80. So we have 181 plus 80, so 261. Okay. And the remaining is Cancer. So we are done. All right. So now our data set is created. Let's save the data set as a CSV file. So let me save it as a CSV file. And the name, I'll keep it as smoking illness and save it. All right. Now, let's look at the JASP. In the JASP, we will upload the file. So smoking illness. We open the file. So now you can see that there are two categorical variables which have come up. So chi-square test of independence we carry out on two categorical variables. Now you saw that it was a contingency table. So we should be using under frequencies a contingency table in classical, and you can take it either side. Either you take smoking in columns or illness in columns. So let me take illness in rows and smoking in columns. So the same contingency table which you had seen in the problem has been reconstructed. Okay. Right. So once this is done, you already have the test results out here. Okay. So if you need to know the expected frequencies, you can choose in the cells, click on expected, and you get the expected frequency along with the observed frequency. All right. And how to infer the results. So you can see here the p-value is 0.005. So it is quite less, right? So there is enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Hence, we can conclude that there is a connection between illness and smoking. Okay. And if you want to further probe into what is the connection or what is the relationship between illness and smoking, have a look at the expected count and the observed count. So wherever you see that the expected count is less than the observed count or observed count is greater than the expected count, you see that there is a positive relationship between the categories of the two variables in the corresponding cells. For instance, here we can say that cancer is more likely to happen to the non-smokers, okay, rather than to smokers. As you can see that the observed count is greater than the expected count for non-smokers, and the observed count is less than the expected count for smokers. On similar lines, the illness called emphysema, it is more likely to happen to smokers rather than the non-smokers. As you can see that the observed count of smokers is greater than the expected count in that list. So wherever you have uh, above expectation, the observed values, then there would be a positive relationship. And wherever there is below expectation, the observed values, then you can say that there would be a negative relationship, right? So that's how you do the chi-square test of independence.